Government to reinstate annual contribution to Midwestern State University.
There is this agreement between the government of Grenada and most of the other countries in the region, whereby Grenadian students or OECS or Caribbean students, wherever, as part of that agreement, will pay the same tuition fees as U.S. residents.
Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the National Report, I'm Leslie Ann Johnson, Cornwall. Grenadian students at the Midwestern State University in the United States can breathe a sigh of relief as government has taken a decision to reinstate its annual contribution to the university so that students there can benefit from the in-state tuition waiver. This waiver allows for Grenadian students to pay the same fees that U.S. citizen students pay to access education at the institution. Education Minister the Honourable Anthony Boson told members of the media on Tuesday that Grenada lapsed in its payment to the university for the past 7 years.
There is this agreement between the government of Grenada and most of the other countries in the region, whereby Grenadian students or OECS or Caribbean students, wherever, as part of that agreement, will pay the same tuition fees as U.S. residents, based on the contribution that the governments or the respective governments will make towards the students, our students at Midwestern University. But for the past 7 years, that lapsed and no payment was made, and our students were placed at a serious disadvantage.
Government will make payments to the university which will run into the 2019 school year.
We are required to pay $15,000 to ensure that our students remain at Midwestern State and get the same treatment as other Caribbean students. And in going forward, for the next school year, that contribution will increase to $50,000 per US per year, then to $100,000 in 2018 and $150,000 in 2019. As a result, Midwestern will allow up to 6 Grenadian students per year to enter the university, and that will increase to 12 the following year and 18 in the ensuing year. So in essence, there is a correlation between how much we pay and the number of students who are enrolled at Midwestern State University.
Grenada's Citizenship by Investment program has been earmarked for improvements by Prime Minister Dr. of the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell and his cabinet. That announcement by Education and Human Resource Development Minister Anthony Boson during government's weekly post-cabinet briefing on Tuesday. The CBI is aimed at generating and creating access to foreign direct investment in Grenada's economy or real estate development to generate sustainable employment. According to Minister Boson, Grenada's CBI is by far one of the better managed and transparent programs in the region.
We have been rated as one of the better program operators in the region. So I think this is a plus for us. However, we do believe that from time to time there will be reasons to upgrade or to improve on the regulatory mechanisms in place. And therefore, by approving the regulations with some amendments that were made subsequently, we believe that the program will, the regulatory mechanism for that CBI program, especially under Section 11, will be better enhanced.
Changes will be made to Section 11 of the CBI regulations, which make reference to the manner in which money invested in an approved project in return for citizenship is done. In addition, Cabinet has concluded that the changes will be made under 2 conditions. There must first be an agreement, and the accounts must be audited. Minister Boson explains.
Any escrow account could be established with investor funds for investment into any approved project. There must be an agreement between the investor and the project developer. And that must precede the establishment of the escrow account. You cannot have in the past, you could establish the account and then maybe there is an agreement subsequent to that. We believe that that was not the proper approach. You must have the agreement identifying all of the terms and conditions of the investment, what will happen in case there is a default before you can establish the account. So there's clarity on both sides. And the second aspect is that the account will have to be audited by an auditing firm approved by the investment committee, not the investor, not the developer, right? Again, this makes for greater transparency in the operation of the project.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
The house was shaking. Then suddenly saw we hear bang, crack, and the roof had gone.
Man, I was so scared, I nearly wet myself.
Only those who have lived it can truly understand the devastating fury of a hurricane's wind.
The house across the road just get up and roll over.
Hurricane force wind. It's a hazard. Hazards. Take control. Reduce your loss. You can hurricane-proof your home. For example, make your roof more wind-resistant by using screws instead of nails in its construction. Find out more about hurricane force winds and other hazards at your local disaster office. A message from the National Disaster Management Agency and SEDERA.
On Monday, the Government Information Service spoke with overall top CSEC performer Kimika Donald from the Anglican High School. On Tuesday, GIS caught up with the students who copped the second and third positions. L.J. Watts of St. Mark's Secondary School, who achieved 13 passes and 12 ones, and Shanisa Steele of Hillsborough Secondary School in Carriacou, with 15 passes, 11 ones at her school, and one subject done privately, giving her a total of 16 subjects with 12 ones. Details from Annette Moore.
L.J. Watts of St. Mark and Shanisa Steele of Carriacou told us just how they felt upon receiving their CSEC results and much more.
I didn't really believe what was being said at the time. Then I started receiving calls from my brothers, from family members. Then after I was just in shock. I couldn't believe it because it was something that I've worked hard for over the past 5 years.
When I received a call from my mother, and then she was so overwhelmed. And she told me I got 15 subjects with 11 ones and 4 twos. I didn't even know how to react. I was so elated. I expected great results because I knew I worked extremely hard.
Both LJ and Shanisa credit the support of their family, schools, and friends for their success. LJ gave special credit to his mother, who recently passed away, while Shanisa made special mention of the support of her principal and her faith in God.
To be honest, without the emotional support from them, I don't think I would have been able to do it.
Both students also told us about their study plans and goals for the future.
I want to be a general engineer. I'm also studying to be a chemist, a physicist, as well as a marine biologist. I also want to become a doctor and a pilot. It sounds like a lot of things that I have to work on, but I'm sure I'll get there.
Shanisa is also headed towards the medical field.
My future aspiration is to become a doctor, and I have applied for St. George's University approximately 3 weeks ago.
Once accepted, she plans to begin school in January 2018.
I'll be doing the biology undergraduate program as a stepping stone in achieving my career to become a medical doctor.
LJ and Shanisa had some final words for those who supported them.
I must express gratitude to everyone who have helped me, because without them I wouldn't have accomplished anything.
To the people who care and supported me, I just want to say thank you, and I love you for all that you've done for me.
For the National Report, I'm Annette Moore.
The Grenada Electricity Company, Grenlec, has made a sizable donation to 4 education initiatives in support of youth and education development under the Grenlec Community Partnership Initiative. The beneficiaries are the Junior Achievement Grenada, which received $30,000, Grencola received $20,000, the J.J. Robinson Trust $10,000, and the Program for Adolescent Mothers PAM $7,000. Carol Hood is the senior accountant at Grenlec.
We believe that the youth is the pillar of our society, and without the strengthening of the youth via education, we cannot see the future of our country developing. So through the vehicle of the Grenlec Community Partnership Initiative, we are proud to present $67,000 in total to our partners, and we thank them for all the work that they have continued to do over the years.
The recipients say the assistance from the company will assist to further the work that they do.
We are really grateful to Grenlec that they continue to be with us, even at a time when we would have lost some of our traditional assistance financially. Grenlec stood with us. In fact, they came in at a time that we were particularly strapped, and to this we say, thank you very much, Grenlec.
We have supported over 800 teenagers, and pleased to announce that we've just done over $1 million mark this year. Our students have done very, very well. We try and take 65 a year, and of that 65 a year, we now have 2 students in China, 1 in Morocco, 1 in China, and 4 students at SGU, all on full scholarships.
And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson, Cornwall.